let's get into it. He picked FrightVision. He's not here to defend himself, which I don't think he liked
I'm
it
not
either.
sure he would.
No, he didn't like it. He told me immediately after watching it that it was terrible. But yeah, the summary for this movie, this is what it says. This is what they wrote in their own IMDb. Prepare yourself for 5 twisted tales of terror hosted by everyone's favorite sinister succubus, Dr. Boobenstein.
Favorite my ass.
Dr. Boobenstein.
I am your host, Dr. Rebecca Boobenstein, but you can just call me Dr. Boobenstein.
Features vicious vixens, flesh-eating mist, vengeful Aztec gods, talking corpses, sinister Santas, and more. So sit back, turn out the lights, and get ready for your worst nightmares to unfold
again and again and again.
Jason, do you have any information on this thing? Did they put this out?
I couldn't find a tagline. It's distributed by Wild Eye Releasing. And you can pick this up on DVD for $12.95.
And then you can kill yourself. What the fuck would you do that for?
Yeah.
There's nothing good about it. The best thing I've seen related to this was the trailer, which looked better than the poster, which looks like shit and does I don't know. This movie was written and directed by a gang of folks. Most notably is probably the lady who plays this favorite sinister succubus, Dr. Boobenstein.
Then she should know better. She should have known better.
Her name is no, she shouldn't. Let me list off some of her credits. Her name is Rebecca Reinhardt. She's known for such films as Slumber Party, Slaughter Party, Parts 1 and 2. That's right. I didn't have a stroke. That's the name of that movie. Sharks of the Corn. Natasha 90's Boudoir of Blood. 13 Slaves Till Xmas, The True Tale of Old Splitfoot versus the Lesbian Warrior Nuns of the Great White North.
I'm watching that one.
Debbie Does Demons. Catnado. Sister Krampus. She also, she plays Dr. Boobenstein in this movie and in a movie called Faces of the Dead and Boobs, Blood, and Mayhem Volume 1. So there's a part 2 coming, at least, if they've named it for 1. But I've never hated a horror host more in my fucking life.
Never.
First of all, she's like the worst version of an Elvira clone that you've ever seen. And she's decided to put on this Professor Freud accent for some reason. It's like,
why?
And it's bad.
So dumb.
Why
so
is it
dumb.
there?
And what was up with that blue fucking background? That basic, just what the fuck was that?
She's cute. She's cute. Her tits are out. Like, what? Why do you need an accent? Just be cool. Like,
right?
It's not hard.
You are the worst part of this movie.
Yeah, for sure. And she shows up quite often.
No, she wasn't.
For me, her accent. She just talk high pitched most of the time. And like, you ain't even doing the accent anymore. You're just talking super high.
And
like, she got under my skin.
I wrote
the segments were bad, but she made me mad. Like, I was furious.
And in comparison, I think this is sort of like a really shitty, like somebody saw 1031 and was like, we're gonna do that, and then they put her in there, like put Malvolio in that many places. This bitch is popping up in between every fucking thing. And I wrote down like terrible decision to do the accent, terrible decision all around, from wardrobe to backdrop, everything. I'd rather have that old punk rock dude from the Brain Damage movies. Have you ever seen is it Brain Damage? Yeah, the Brain Damage films guy. Remember him? Have you ever seen any of their releases? This is old dude that has punk rock spikes comes out and he's like, how's it going? You're about to watch. He's like really terrible, but I would rather have him or anybody.
Sounds better.
Anybody from YouTube. It's like this whole movie is like, the reason I was talking to you earlier and said they should have just made a porno is because this is that quality. There's no mic, there's no like boom mic or anything to make sound work. It's just what I think it's camera audio. It sounds so fucking terrible. And and if they would have just made a pornography film, it would have serviced the community more than this waste of time. Because there's nothing beneficial about this. The first segment is about a girl trying to get into porn. But I think, don't you just start making porn? Is it that hard to get into it? Like, don't you just get a camera and just start doing it? I mean,
well, nowadays, yeah.
But well, this is a modern film, Ray.
Right.
There's no actual prestige in pornography, right? Like, they might have
there's agencies though.
They might have like an award show where you can win the best anal scene, but that you're not putting that next to your picture of your grandma.
There's Pornhub, which you can do yourself, and then there's Vivid Entertainment, which has actually got money back behind it.
Right, but how much money? I mean, you're not hanging. There's no prestige in it. Like, well, I mean, but think about the most artistic.
The production values up there.
I'm
like, you got sets, you got lighting, you got
a nice hotel
camera angles. Yeah.
I'm just saying, you know,
don't touch porn all the way.
Do you think it would have been harder to get in? Do you think it was harder to get into this movie or porn? Would
this
it would have been harder to get into porn.
This whole first segment is just weird to me because the questions just keep coming, and John kind of cleared it up for me. But first of all, why would they go out and pick up those two dudes that they pick up for some fun? And what location did they find those two guys hanging out? Because they didn't look like they didn't look like two guys that were hanging out, right? It's like a Magic the Gathering.
They were just walking around.
The black cat.
And you said it was Fallen Angels or something like that. Like, is that?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what it looked like to me. She had those angel wings tattoos, and instead of I saw that this had a budget of 20 grand, so I presume 5 tails, $4,000, and then they all kicked in for Boobenstein. So,
do you think they just paid for her Boobensteins? And probably most of the budget went to
probably.
Yeah, they couldn't even fill in that blue background.
Couldn't even put a fucking plant back there or anything.
Yeah,
but she was like,
have your tits out. That's fine.
But the one chick, she was a demon, and she's like, "Let me teach you," and all that shit. And then she started rubbing off the angel wings. So it was like fallen angels.
If that's what you're kicking this movie off with, you know. And then it goes into
that was the most creative.
It's the best one. It's the best one in it, I guess.
No,
really,
sir.
I guess.
What?
No, I mean, for me, I hated every moment further in this was worse for me. The second story with the fucking starts right off with some bad stock assets, some of the worst cell phone green screen things. It's like they edited this whole segment on a phone almost.
Probably did.
There's just no attention to detail at all in this segment. This guy comes home and his wife's stirring a big pot of whatever the fuck. And then she goes, there's like all this shit they just show you for no reason. And then when they sit down, they're eating a chicken strip and what looks like a pile of frozen vegetables from what was in the fucking big pot. Who cares? Why show me that? Cut all that out. Get me right to where I need to be, which is where all these skeletons start popping up and don't make any fucking sense either. Waste of time, waste of everyone's time. The people that made it could have probably just, I don't know, got diarrhea and stayed at home. There was literally shit was fucking terrible.
It was not a good story.
They show everything in this segment, like from the guy walking all the way up the steps to fucking going inside, having a little talk with the wife, taking the trash out. Everything is like almost real time. It fucking sucked. And then they went and got a bunch of skeleton decorations from the fucking Halloween store.
Spirit.
Yeah.
That's where the budget went. Spirit.
Yeah.
This is where I was like, I gotta stop writing notes down a little bit because it's a dumpster fire, the whole thing. There's not any redeeming qualities. I don't know why that you always have to have a Christmas themed segment in a fucking anthology movie, but almost all of them do. And I don't get it. Is it like just part of the formula? You got to have it in there. But yeah, what did you think was the best segment, Jason?
Well, I just got a few things to say about all of them. Wait, are you done?
Yeah, I gave this a
Wait,
1. I mean, I
one,
gave this
yeah.
thing a 1.
I don't think that's much of a surprise.
If you can, no, that's not what I wrote down. I will give this a 1 if you can find one good quality about it. I give it a 0.
Well, maybe I could find a little bit for you. So yeah, low budget, independent horror anthology, and I don't like to shit on people's work, but I was forced to watch this, so I wouldn't have had to watch it. I would have watched the trailer, seen that this wasn't for me, and then I wouldn't have had to ever say anything about it. But this is where we are. Already covered the worst part of it was this Boobenstein. I don't even know why.
You don't need it.
Why did she need to be German? Did I miss something?
Well, they've made her
decided
they were like,
well, Boobenstein, that's German.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, but okay. So yeah, that was
was Dr. Frankenstein, did he have that accent? I haven't seen like any Frankenstein shit, so I don't know.
If he had the accent, it was English.
Yeah, it was like old English.
First segment, just awful, bad acting, stupid story, didn't like it. In a way, this is another movie that I was kind of glad for the ads on Tubi because it gave me a chance to take a freaking break. It did take me 3 different viewings to finish this.
Nothing like dragging that shit out, man. It was like, it makes it worse.
That's why I said I couldn't decide if I liked the commercials because it gave me a break or if I didn't because it just drug out the whole overall experience.
Oh my God.
But second segment looks even worse than the first. Plastic skeletons, green slime, and that was their bang. The third segment, I think, is the best one. Now it's still rough, but I thought there was, at least out of these, this had the best effects. There were some decent effects on there. There was a good kill with the beheading. Somewhat of a plot, even though it was bonkers. There was they put a little bit of effort into the writing, but I don't understand, why did they dub the lead actress? Why did they dub her vocals? Or her audio? Because it sounds worse than the rest of the audio, whatever it was, the camera or boom mic. I don't know what they had.
They did not have.
They probably forgot to hit record on the set.
I guarantee you. I want to know
what.
I want to know what equipment they used to make this movie because it almost sounds like one of those Zoom mics like I have where it's directional.
Good, I don't think.
But if you have it pointed in the wrong direction, it's not going to catch anything. And I don't know.
Maybe it didn't pick her up.
Probably.
I was so mad about the sound. I tried to find who the sound guy was. And they don't even listen to the sound. I went through for like half an hour.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny that they dubbed it, but it sounded worse than the other audio. But I'm guessing you're probably right. She probably was too quiet and they had to do it, but whatever. No, they even used it wasn't good, but they used a little bit of lighting. They used some colored lighting, some okay, like it looks like someone had some idea how to shoot with I don't even want to call it cinematography, but you know what I mean? Like it looks better than the rest of them. It's shot better than the rest of them. And I thought there was a couple legit funny parts. Like I actually laughed on this one. I don't know. I can't tell you what they are, but I did jot it down.
Anything's, any nourishment, any nourishment in the desert.
Talking cat on this one. I don't know. I like this one the best. Fourth segment, kind of clever with the bodies talking to each other. Other than that, that's all that segment.
Now, by the time you get to this point in the movie, you are burnt out.
Yeah.
This thing wears you out. It's just,
all I did was clock watch.
It's fucking,
kept checking the time. After that first segment, it was only like 11 minutes in, and this Boobenstein pops back up with her voice. I was like, "Oh my god!" I checked my foot, or I checked the time on the movie. It's like 11 minutes. This segment, this Christmas segment, I don't even know what they were trying to. I don't know what they were doing with the story. I couldn't follow it. I also didn't care. So maybe it was my fault, but it was just all the relationships of each other, their family members and what. I could not keep track of what was going on. And Christmas horror is one of my favorite subgenres, so I'm guessing that's why they always throw it in anthologies. But God, if you ain't gonna do it justice, I just had no interest in this one. It was just a confusing mess. I give the whole thing a 1. It's not the worst thing I've seen, but I give it a 1.
Yeah. So I wouldn't have even watched the fucking trailer for this.
The poster's really bad.
all I base on is the cover on Tubi, just the thumbnail.
Yeah. That's all you need.
All I go by. Yep. And then, so yeah. First line, Christ, Dr. Boobenstein. Yeah, listen, of course she's gorgeous. She's got a nice rack. But I'm with you guys. The accent.
But so would you, John, if you bought one. Just put it in.
Whatever.
I mean, that's just when you have no talent at all, and that's all you have.
Whatever. She's getting work.
Yeah. Hey.
Or her boobs are, anyways. But whatever. Work is work. Money is money.
Gotta pay them off.
That blue backdrop, though. Oh,
I got one of
those. That was so annoying. They could have, I don't know.
They could have blue screened it out and put something behind her.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
They probably would have picked the stock flames.
Yeah, or like a forest, woods, or
yeah, probably, or something. But yeah, anyways, all right. So even right from the first get-go, the audio is not good. So, but it does get worse. Yeah, the first story, the sex workers, fallen angels, demons, I guess they're just gonna do porn. All right, whatever. Or hook and kill dudes.
It doesn't make any sense.
Whatever. Good for you. You're demons now. Go for it. All right. The Green Mist. Shut the fuck up. Third story. Archaeologists. I didn't even know what these names were. I just whatever. The ADR, the dubbing, garbage. Hated it. $4,000 a piece. I would have loved to have had $4,000 to make a movie. That'd have been sweet. I'd done something with it. But whatever. This is just
something
fun.
better. Something better.
Something better.
It's fun
I don't
anyway.
know. Yeah. The fourth story could have been something cool on its own with better people. The idea was cool. I will say that. That was funny. They're just stuck there rotting and talking.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a chuckle, but those people were just
he rents out the room for 4 more weeks and then puts his face. He ends up dying with his face right in his crotch.
Mm-hmm.
I laughed. I thought it was clever.
You got a good point. I'm probably gonna have to bump mine up to a 1 now that you've given me one reason to fucking not.
Yeah. So here's my notes for that story. I go, 4th story, lonely guy wants woman, gets a hooker. Sound comes changed. Did you notice that the audio was just on the right side for the majority of that? Oh, come on.
Was you watching it with the headphones?
I was too. Yeah.
Yes, I was.
No,
I was.
It was all over the place. When something has bad audio and you're listening to it with headphones,
the worst.
It really fucks with you.
Yeah. And I said, then it goes to that horrendous sex scene. It's just, I know they were going for shock value, but no. It's a no for me, dog. And then my next note is, Jesus, this movie is god awful. I said, dead hookers complaining, audio gets back to normal, it just keeps going. That's it. The 5th story had the one redeeming quality for me of this movie, but not enough to raise it to a 1. The best editing of the whole movie. There was a shot of the Santa throws an axe into the security guard, and a security guard says, "I don't get benefits until next week." That was that was a perfect edit. That was the only professional edit in the entire film.
Yeah, I think every segment was
0.
Yeah. I think every segment was by a different person. I don't know. I didn't look into
Oh
the
yeah.
details. That much.
Oh no, yeah. It was a total. Hey guys, I got 20 grand. Here's a few for you. You make your movies or something. You know what I mean? I don't even know if this had a producer.
I think they paid out of pocket for this.
20
like
grand.
Here, I don't have enough money to make a feature length, so let me get 4 of these.
Could you imagine
directors on my level to make an anthology go in together?
Could you imagine if they kickstarted it and you gave money? Oh my god. Holy shit. Ray, what's up with you? Where do you think?
What was your score?
Oh, it was a 0. It was a 0. It's not this type of indie ain't for me.
Once again, I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say the exact same things, only a little bit different. But yeah, it was fucking terrible. It was one of the worst experiences I've had, and I used to co-host Shock Fest.
Wait, hold on. What did you say there?
Yeah. I said it was one of the worst experiences. Can you not hear me? Okay, I'm gonna try.
Your audio is sounding a little funky.
Your audio sucks. It's about as good as this movie.
What happened?
For real?
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm pretty much gonna just say exactly what you guys said. This was one of the worst things I've seen, and I used to co-host Schlockfest. That's what I said. And yeah, doesn't have the same impact now. But anyways, I was watching this thing, and I'm with you. I had my surround sound on, and I had to fucking turn it off. This was the worst sound quality thing I've ever been involved with watching. Frank and I have done some independent films, and our sound is 1,000 times better than that. We had $0.
Well,
I don't understand it. I mean,
it's not hard to beat this quality. I'll be honest with you.
How could you have 2 fucking people in a room sitting next to each other on a bed and not understand one of them because their audio is so much different? It blew my mind. I actually looked for the guy to try to find his name so I could go.
It's the camera operator. You. It's the camera operator.
Whoever that guy is,
pretty much.
You're the worst.
They probably had a camcorder that had like a boom mic on it, and those things aren't worth shit. It's probably like a $200 camera. I don't know.
Awful. So, anyways, I'll just run through real quick. Hated the first one. Fucking terrible. Just atrocious. Terrible writing. Terrible acting. John pointed out the only thing about that one that made any sense was the angel wings. That was the only clever thing in that whole thing. Second one with the green mist, no redeeming qualities whatsoever. Fucking garbage. The third one with the idol, I know it had some okay parts, but the audio again shifts and is really terrible. But here's my problem with that one. I don't think anybody touched on it. The lady has this big reveal, right? Here's all these corporate head guys. They killed her whole family. Did you guys not notice that? They killed all of her kids and her fucking husband and her uncles. What are the odds of that? Like, I would have been okay if one of them had died and the rest of people were just shitty fucking conglomerates who killed other people. Who writes that? Who goes, got it? They killed all of her family. Her whole family's dead in different scenarios. What the fuck? And then the talking cat, I was just like, I'm not high enough for any of this. So
I totally forgot there was even a talking cat.
Yeah.
Well,
I should have fucking remembered that.
When you have a barrel of so much weird nonsense, it's hard to remember.
Bonkers.
It was such a mishmash.
Then I actually liked the one that was in the hotel room for what John was saying. It had its own thing, and Jason, it's its own thing. It could have been great by itself. Like, let's find out what this weirdo's doing. Where's he from? Why is he killing hookers like by accident all the time? Because it seemed like a recurring thing. He had done it before. It really felt that way. So, and I love the ending. Was really funny. I laughed right out loud, but it was so terrible. And I thought the chick was kind of hot. I'm not gonna lie. That's my kind of girl right there. She's a little dirty. She hasn't taken a shower in a day. I don't know.
She's slowly rotting.
She might have just got off of work at a stripper pole,
little rigor mortis.
Yeah, just a little bit, But anyway, so that's the only time I actually was like, I didn't say it was good. I just was like, yeah, okay. That last one though, fucking hell. Again, all over the place. I have no idea what's happening. Two cool things happened in the whole thing. I kept going, please end, please end. And then this rip off of Elvira, again, I don't know. I'm with you guys. I don't know what her idea is. Like this, because most
there's
character
barely
actors,
one there. I mean,
yeah, most character actors like Elvira, for example, that if you meet that lady in real life, she's clearly not Elvira, right? But she has this persona. She has an idea. This lady didn't seem like she had any idea what she was doing. She was just making it up as she went along, and it was like Jason said, grating. Like I literally
there's usually some kind of a wraparound story, but she just
exactly.
She was hosting these stories.
I thought I missed something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nope.
I thought there was something to do with German that I missed.
My entire thing about this was I would have rather watched a porno.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
When it was also
I'd have rather watched the Phantasm porno.
Exactly.
I have to watch. I have to watch that now that I know it exists.
Oh my god!
I gave it.
Oh, you didn't know it? I never talked about it. Oh god, you're in for a good time. Maybe.
I gave it a 1. I gave it a 1 myself, just for that one sketch with the people in the hotel room. That's all. That's all a nice.
That dude was an okay actor.
Yeah.
He didn't like stick out to me where he was that bad. Like he was okay.
Yeah.
2 thumbs up.
So I would say
way up.
Yeah.
No.
So I would say that's my it is. I don't know how people get money for shit like this. I don't understand it. So
this sort of thing ain't my bag, baby.